Why do anything if nothing matters? Life has no inherent meaning. Everything we do is temporary, even humanity's time on this planet, because the sun doesn't last forever. Why do we work so hard? Why accomplish anything if nothing matters? Life in and of itself was just meant to roam the earth, compete for resources. Everyone's each other's food. If you don't eat, you get eaten. That's what nature really is. Everything was made so conveniently. We're all made out of the same things as every other living thing. So the easiest way to stay alive is by consuming another living thing. We don't live off of solar. Our main source of energy is another living organism. All we're meant to do is work hard to be able to get food, reproduce, sleep, and that's pretty much it. Wake up and do the same thing. We're all programmed to do the same thing. Life itself is a system. Everything was made a certain way. We're made to think a certain way. We all think we're fighting for a purpose. But what is this purpose? What does it even mean at the end? When you try to search for meaning, you won't find meaning. Meaning is something you create. What is meaningful to you? What makes you happy? The meaning of life is different for everyone. Why be in a relationship? Because being in love is a beautiful thing. We're social creatures. We want companionship. We want someone to be there for us, to go through the good and the bad times. We don't want to be alone. Why have friends? Because we want to be accepted. We want to feel like we belong to something, to stand up for what we believe and work towards a common goal. Why do we work so hard? We work to make money, to be able to do the things that we want to do, to be able to buy the things that we want. Money buys freedom. Without money, you don't truly feel free, because nothing's free in this world. You can't do anything without money. You need money to have the financial freedom to travel, to spend time with family, to go out with friends. Everything you want to do costs something. Everyone has something that's meaningful to them. It could be creating art, making music, cooking delicious food, being a doctor, saving lives, doing something that makes you feel like you're worth something. No one wants to feel worthless. Everyone wants to accomplish something in their life. But why do anything if you're eventually going to be forgotten? How many of y'all know the names of your great-great-grandfather? Eventually, no one's gonna know you ever existed or anything that you've ever done. But life isn't about seeking validation. It's not about what others think of you. It's what you think of yourself. Most people show their lives and pretend how happy they are, but deep down, they're not happy. They're sad. They feel the need to show every part of their life, to prove how good they're doing. But life is so much better when no one knows anything about you. If you try to think about what is your purpose, what is the universe's purpose of having you here, you won't find that purpose. You have to create your own meaning. It's the same as the people that wait for an opportunity and they look at everyone around them like everyone's gotten this magical opportunity to live their dream life. Well, if you keep waiting for the perfect opportunity, for someone to give you an opportunity, you may never get anywhere. What if that opportunity never comes? You have to create your own opportunity. You can't sit around. There's opportunities all around you, but you have to be able to see it. There's more things that you can do now compared to back in the day. Back in the day, the only way to survive is to hunt. You hunt all day to find food. And if you don't have a successful hunt, you don't eat. Your family doesn't eat. Your tribe doesn't eat. Now you don't have to count on that. Food is in grocery stores, at restaurants. You just gotta find a way to make money. And there's so many ways to make money nowadays. There's so many businesses that you can start. If you want to get a job, you can get a job. And if you feel like a job is not for you, you can start your own business. There's so many choices nowadays, yet everyone feels like they don't have a choice. Back then, you didn't have a choice. If you weren't capable and you couldn't hunt for your own food, no one was gonna save you. You had no other choice. There was no other thing to do. There was no career. There was no you do the things you want to do. You hunt and you ate and you slept and you reproduced. That was it. There was no such thing as vacation days. You take a vacation day, you might not eat. There was no refrigerator to store food. Food lasted a couple days max, and you would have to hunt for more food. There was no retirement plan. There was no moving out of your parents' house. You had to hunt and find enough food for your entire family, your wife, your kids, your parents. You couldn't retire unless you had kids, and they grew up to be capable too. And when they grow up and start their own family, they had to hunt and find enough food for their family and you as the parent. So no one really moved out. You couldn't move out. That was not an option. You live with your parents and your immediate family, your wife and your kids. Who was gonna take care of you when you're old? There's no such thing as retirement. You could not retire. You had to hunt for food even if you're old. You could not retire unless you had a son to take care of you. We take a lot of things for granted in modern society because we don't understand how people in the past really live. We live in the easiest time in history. Life has no meaning when you only think about yourself. You plant a tree today so tomorrow's generation can enjoy the shade. Humanity has created meaning. We're not like every other animal that just eat and sleep and reproduce. We create a civilization. Everything that you see around you. We don't like to walk, we created cars. It's too hot, we created air conditioning. It's too cold, we created heaters. We want to travel to a different country, we created ships. We created airplanes. Whatever you thought was not possible, we made it possible. If everybody thought that there was no meaning, do you think that you would be able to live the life that you would be living right now? You would still be in the forest with no toilet paper, no shower. People had to invent these things because inventing things was their passion. The shoes on your feet, the clothes that you wear, someone invented that. Everything was invented. Everything around you. The luxury of having a bed to sleep in. Someone invented that bed, or else you would be sleeping on the ground. Why do we want to explore space? Because the earth doesn't last forever. To keep our species alive, eventually we have to go to a different star and find a new planet we call home. And as time goes on, we invent new things. We discover new things and create a whole nother meaning. We solve boredom. We created television, movies. We dance and we sing. Comedy to make us laugh. We created amusement parks. It's about building something, giving meaning to something, working towards a goal as a whole. As time goes on, we're gonna become an even more advanced civilization. Eventually, we'll be able to create life and give meaning to that life. We're going to be able to create our own species, whether it's in real life or in a simulation. We're going to be able to create a whole new world. Humans are so innovative. We do things that we thought could never happen. Flying was impossible, but we make the impossible possible because of our intelligence, because of our ability to work as a team, our ability to speak and use language as our form of communication, because we can draw, because we can write, because we can remember things and pass it down to the next generation. That's what makes us the greatest species to ever exist. And with new innovation, as things get better, new problems will emerge. But give us enough time and we can fix those problems that we create. So everything that you do affects an individual, affects society as a whole, good or bad. Everything that you say, everything that you do affects the way that we move as a society. So just remember, life is not about looking for meaning. Life is about doing something that's meaningful to you. It could be inventing things, creating art, creating music, making things better, starting a business that helps others, that provides value and makes things more convenient. It's about what makes you happy.